nice introduction. Mr. Minister, thank you. It's great to be with you and really an honor for me. And all of the distinguished guests, I'm glad to be back here. I spoke at this same conference 1 year ago on these important topics. I know we're short on time, but I just want to cover a few areas. First, let me just set the landscape for you. You know, our Director of National Intelligence recently testified about something he called the unpredictable instability in the world today. And it used to be that the threats that we faced came from nation states or transnational groups, but now we face a dazzling array of threats that come at us not only from extremism, but now from displacements, migration, from extreme weather events, from global disease, from cyber attacks, from so many different areas. And so it does require a multifaceted way in which you tackle these threats, and it requires security partnerships. There may be no more important security partnership in the world today than the U.S. and India. And I give all the credit to Prime Minister Modi and President Obama for deepening, broadening, strengthening that security partnership over the last few years in particular. And let me just mention three areas. I want to mention military-to-military, cyber, and homeland defense. On military-to-military cooperation, I think you may all know that India and the United States do more military exercises now between each other than with any other country in the world. Last year alone, I had the pleasure of going to Malabar. I had the pleasure of going to Yudhavas, the military army exercise. I went to 3 different aircraft carriers in 3 different oceans, one with the Indian Minister of Defense, but each time I was accompanied by Indian naval officers and Indian naval aviators to talk about carrier cooperation. That's just in our military-to-military exercise category. I will tell you, our militaries are really good together, and they are about as good as you will get in the world today, and that's very exciting and very reassuring. On the procurement side, let me just say, we've moved well beyond buyer-seller relationship. We now want to build, develop, do joint research right here in India. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't know why we can't make the most sophisticated fighters and carriers right here. We're already making parts of the President's helicopter here in India. We're making parts of the C-130 here in India. We can do a lot more, and it lines up perfectly with Make in India, with skilling in India. So on our military and defense relationship, we are very excited about where we've gone, where we have been, and where we are going. On cyber, let me just say, I think you all know this as well. There are about 3 billion people connected to the internet today, 400 million right here in India, and that number is only going to grow in the years ahead. Now, obviously, connectivity, digital connections create great economic opportunity. They create great opportunities for education. They also create significant risk. And we need to work together in this cyber domain, and we already are. We have a cybersecurity dialogue. We share threats when it comes to risks. And we really have appreciated India's leadership in the cyber domain. Their embracing of the multi-stakeholder model of internet governance has been so important. We've been talking about their leadership on international norms and customs, and we've been talking to them about possibly acceding to the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime, which would be an additional boost to our cyber defenses. So we're going to continue to make this a key priority area, which is cyber defense and cybersecurity. Finally, on homeland defense and training, not only do we have a homeland security dialogue, our training has been incredibly practical. And we have got all of our key agencies working closely with the Indian agencies. We've done anti-terrorism assistance. Our FBI just this week did a course on evidence collection after a significant blast. How do you collect evidence following explosive detonation? We've done joint training on our multilateral evidence collection process on foreign fighters. For the first time ever last year, thanks to the minister's leadership, we did a special operations course with the Ministry of Home Affairs National Guard, the first time ever. Again, focused on counterterrorism. Our Secret Service has been here. I could go on and on. I'm barely scratching the surface because of the shortness in time on what we're doing on Homeland Defense. But I can tell you it is a huge and important area. It is a growth area. We need to share the best technology. We need to share the best practices and make sure that we're fully aligned because, again, as we said, going into the future, there's no more important economic partner. There's no more important partner from a people-to-people perspective. But on matters of national security and homeland defense, there is no more important set of partnerships than the U.S.-India Security Partnership. And I am committed to ensuring that we go even farther and broader and live up to the vision that the Prime Minister and President have set for us. Thank you very much.